We've been hearing lots of talk about an identity crisis in the Democratic Party after their resounding election losses in November. And now there is a new candidate adding her name to the very crowded field of candidates promising to reshape this party. And former Democratic presidential candidate and self-help author Marianne Williamson, who writes, MAGA is a distinctly 21st century political movement, and it will not be defeated by a 20th century toolkit. And Marianne Williamson joins us now live to discuss her bid to lead the DNC. I appreciate you making the time today. And let's start there. You say MAGA will not be defeated by a 20th century toolkit. Tell me more about that. What would it take?
Well, President-elect Trump has created what I call a collective adrenaline rush. There's tremendous psychological and emotional factors involved in the excitement that so many masses of people have around President Trump and the MAGA movement. In order to counter that 21st century political phenomenon, the Democratic Party now needs to become a phenomenon. And so we can't just use the old toolkit. We can't just rely on things like fundraising and data analysis and, regular field organizing. We need to really get into the soul of the matter and ask ourselves psychologically and emotionally and even spiritually, what happened in this country that so many masses of people not only went over to Trump, but so many masses of people just aren't feeling it when it comes to the Democratic Party. I think that the Democratic Party has strayed from its unequivocal advocacy for the working people of the United States, and we need to get back in order to find the depths of our own soulfulness and our relationship to people, or those frayed bonds of affection will continue to fray, and we won't do any better than we've done in 24.
How does the party become a phenomenon? I mean, did VP Harris come close to that with any of the viral moments we saw she enjoyed during the 107 days or so of her campaign? Or are you talking about something deeper than that?
Well, first of all, and I don't want to go back, I want to go forward. But the fact that the will of the people was not really done in terms of the Democratic primary, the fact that we had not had a robust conversation about what the people felt it would take, the fact that the former iteration of the DNC felt that they had the right to basically decide that it would be Biden, and then basically to decide that it would be Kamala. It sucked a lot of the juice, the Democratic juice, out of the process. And I think that deflated a lot of people. People felt like this was just decided for them, rather than people having a chance to say, this is what we want. That's why the first thing I would do as DNC chair is take a listening tour and really hear from people. What are your needs? I've had two presidential campaigns now where I have gone all around this country, and I've been up close and personal with people who are among the 70 to 90 million Americans who are underinsured or uninsured, who are among those 1 in 4 Americans who live with medical debt, or over half the bankruptcies being medical, or people worried about their children and the carcinogens in their food, the asthma that their kids and other kids in the neighborhood have because of toxins in the air, people not being able to work and survive on just one job. The Democratic Party has strayed from responding to the suffering and the despair. And this is why I talked throughout my campaign of the fact that this would be more like 2016 than like 2020. So the first thing I would do is I would listen. And the second thing I would do in asking people, what do we need to do? Where did you not feel that the Democratic Party had your back? I also want to help people rediscover their relationship to the great American story, to the arc of history where other generations have responded to systemic injustices, whether it was slavery or the institutional suppression of women or the Gilded Age and the suppression of economic rights, whether it was segregation in the American South. Now it's our turn. And the Democratic Party, I want people to see the Democratic Party as a channel for their pushback against the injustices of this time.